Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight's show, me, Chivy, Sam are here to discuss the latest news surrounding Jadon Sancho. We're also going to discuss the Carabao Cup draw, which is live tonight. So United will find out who we play in our first round, but I think it'll be like the third round. Victor Lindelof has a number of clubs interested in him. Is it better to sell him or keep him? And we're going to give our best 11s towards the end, who we would start if everyone was fit. So make sure you stick around for that. Smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Lads, one question for you, okay? What's one thing you would wipe from your memory in United's latest history and you're not allowed to say the Glazers?
7-0. I'd like to get rid of that.
Good one.
I don't ever want to have to witness that or hear Liverpool fans going on about that ever again. That'd be nice to forget.
Is that the worst thing, do you think?
Post Fergie, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's got to be up there, innit? What springs to mind, Civir? Did you go for a similar?
Yeah, I probably would have gone for 7-0, but I think I'll go Maguire.
Maguire, yeah, that's a great shout as well. £80 million. Oh, there's a few, to be fair. You could go back and redo Anthony. You could even go back and do Jadon Sancho, we're about to discuss next. So we've got, there's a selection to pick from, so choose wisely in the chat and put yours in there. Now, on Jadon Sancho, lads, we had news earlier, which confused me a little bit, right? So we've had Fabrice Hawkins, who, again, no idea. I know he's a journalist, don't know who he works for. Basically saying breaking... Yeah, is it Daily Mail?
Yeah.
That explains everything. Breaking agreement between Manchester United and Juventus for Jadon Sancho. Loan plus obligation to buy. The player's keen on the move. Then, about an hour and 2 hours later, we had Fabrizio Romano. And after I put it in the chat, to be fair, Sam was like, just wait for a legit source, mate, and then we'll chat about it. Romano came out and said, after selling Federico Chiesa, Juventus made an improved offer for Jadon Sancho of a loan with an option to buy. United still want an obligation to buy. Discussions over the details are ongoing. So obviously it seems like this journalist was trying to get the jump on it, was absolutely wrong, and it's still not done. But it feels like we're getting a little bit closer, Sam, at least. There's a lot of noise around Sancho at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, it seems like Juventus are interested. And it's weird, though, because they must have been lacking some severe wingers or some severe like right or left forwards, because they've signed 2 wingers already, I believe. And now they're going after a third. So it's quite bizarre. Like, because you think they've sold Chiesa to Liverpool, that's 1 winger gone, but then they've signed in 3. So a bit weird. So I think, yeah, it's interesting to see that they're still after him. Maybe a deal could be worked out where it's not a straight obligation, where it's something like performance related obligation, where if he hits a certain level, then they have to buy him, or he hits certain goals, or they win something like that, and then they have to buy him. Maybe something could be worked out in the middle. I don't want a loan with no sort of option where they don't have to buy him. I don't want a loan where we're paying his wages either. They can fuck off at any of those terms. I'm not interested.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the wingers here, actually. They've got Timothy Weah, Philip Kostic, who are more kind of modern left midfield, right midfielders. And you've got Chiesa, who's just gone, Nico Gonzalez, Francisco Conceição.
Yeah, they're the 2
wingers
they bought. They're the 2 they bought. They're the 2 they bought,
yeah.
I think.
I did like that Conceição, to be fair, in the Euro to Portugal, like a little tricky player. On Chiesa to Liverpool, Chivir, thoughts? Did that surprise you slightly?
I haven't really given much thought, to be fair. I mean,
Would it have been a deal you considered?
It was for United.
In the Sancho deal, let's say.
Don't know. Doesn't he have like an injury?
ACL. He done.
Yeah. So probably not. I mean, with Sancho, I think we all want money. But with Chiesa, I don't know. I don't think I'd have wanted it. Like, might as well just keep him instead of getting someone who's not going to be available. He's not available anyway. Well, the manager doesn't pick him anyway, so he could just be here. But I don't know. I think it's a good move for Liverpool though. If he can gain some fitness, yeah, to be good for him. I think there was no one else realistically that was in for him at the time, so he probably just jumped on the opportunity. But it's probably going to be a good buy.
But for 10 million quid, it's one of those, isn't it, where you're like, he's going to be a backup to a Salah or a Diaz or something like that. That's quite a shrewd move in that sense for 10 million. Because if he is injured,
Yeah, I didn't even know it was 10 million.
Yeah, 10 million. That's how much they
It's
paid.
10.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a steal, man.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned
That
it.
is just, oh,
Because
wow.
Liverpool are there, we've got no money, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, they've signed the Georgian goalkeeper. I can't even say his name. Can anyone say his name?
Mamadashvili.
Mamadashvili. There we go. So they signed him for like 30, but he's going back on loan. And then they've signed this guy, Chiesa, obviously, as a depth signing. But their squad's already pretty good, to be fair. So they don't really need many more signings. But this isn't Liverpool talk. This is United talk. But yeah, just on Jadon Sancho, I think if we can get a loan with an obligation, rather than the Raheem Sterling swap deal, which seems to be still lingering around, I think I'd take that, lads. But are we positive? Are we leaning more towards Sancho staying or going right now? Where's the positivity scale, Sam?
It seems to have ramped up a little bit, doesn't it? In the last couple of days, like before this week, we were all thinking he's probably going to stay. He missed out the game against Fulham, but he said it was an ear infection, so we were kind of like, okay. And then he travelled with the squad to Brighton and wasn't even in the squad. So
yeah, weird that, wasn't it?
That then set alarm bars off where I was like, okay, what's going on here? They've clearly not, whatever thing they said, oh, we drew a line under it, they clearly haven't, because he's not picked him for whatever reason. And then, yeah, you started hearing this thing about Chelsea with the swap deal with Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell. And then I've seen reports where apparently Chelsea or other clubs have put that thing in to smoke out bidders for Sterling and Chilwell and to get Tony and stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that. So it's hard to believe like what is correct and what is just sort of club or agent driven sort of stuff to get players to certain places. That could be the case. And now Juve seems concrete because if Romano is saying they are in direct negotiations trying to figure something out, so it seems like Juve are the most interested party, I would say. So it seems like that's the way it's going to go, and maybe we can find a middle ground, like I said, with an obligation condition where he hits certain things and then they have to buy him. Maybe that's what happens. I've just seen somebody post Federico Chiesa has missed 100 games through 10 different injuries in his career. So yeah, it's not good.
That's why the price is what it is, to be fair, for 10 million. But it's weird, isn't it, because when we get to this time of the transfer window, I was listening to actually David Ornstein talk about this last night. It was on a podcast with Carl Anker on The Athletic, and he was speaking like the way some clubs manipulate certain names and other clubs to come into the race. Like, I don't think people really understand how complex it can be and how, like, kind of, behind closed doors, what's going on there. Are you getting a sense of that with this Sancho deal?
Yeah, with transfers, there's a lot of wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, a lot of bluffing. You have to bluff and all that kind of stuff. It kind of reminds me, like him not playing, reminds me of like when De Gea was about to go to Real Madrid. Then Van Gaal left him out of the team because they were trying to sort out the whole Madrid thing, and we just left him out. And then if it goes through, if it went through, then he would have gone. But then when it fell through, came back into the team. So I think it's kind of like a similar sort of situation where they just want to keep him out and then see what happens. And then if the transfer goes through, then that's fine. He goes. But like with transfers, like when you listen to managers or former managers like Harry Redknapp, and you just know that there's lots of like underhand dealing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, sometimes it's all about appearances. It's just similar to like Dortmund. Like when Dortmund had him on loan, do you remember they were like, "Oh, this is our guy, I really want him," but then they didn't want to pay. I feel like they were like monitoring the situation and trying to see how much they could get for him. So it's it happens. It's all with negotiations, like not just in football, like just in general. You have to be like adept at it. And obviously because we've got this new minority stake in there with Ineos, we're not as I think we have a little bit more experience when it comes to like negotiating deals and stuff like that. That's why I think it's kind of dragging out the way it is. But I think it will. I think they'll find some kind of option. At the very least, there'll be a loan with an option. And if it doesn't happen at the end of the season, we'll try again. But he's clearly not in Ten Hag's plans, I think. So we'll try and just at least get him out of the team for now.
We've seen that a little bit with United, haven't we? Sam playing chess with Sanderberg, for example, because you've seen as soon as we signed Ugarte, you saw the things come out, didn't you? Like, actually, he was never really interested. Ugate's always been number 1, 2, and 3. So we've actually been playing chess, which is nice to see.
But you saw it as well because we went after Fofana, and then apparently it was always AC Milan. Like it was never going to be anybody else. The United were never really in negotiations. So we, again, like Chivy's mentioned, it's all posturing. It's all posturing at the end of the day. I'll make it look like something else is happening to make you possibly make a move this way, which means then I can make a move this way. And it's all like, that like somebody said in the chat there who said it, 3D chess. Yeah, that's basically what's going on. You're thinking on 3 different levels, and you have to make moves that you're not to players that you're not going to sign, but to make it look like you are, to get other players to possibly drop prices or be interested in other players that you like. It's all weird stuff. It's all a bit sort of strange in that. But you saw, but PSG were the same. Like PSG were posturing, saying, "Oh, you're going to pay this for him, like for Ugarte, you're going to pay this," and they dropped the price at the end of the day, and they kept him out of the team as well for the first 2 games, which shows they were willing to sell him. Because they wouldn't have kept him out of the team otherwise. They were like, no, we need to sell him. And eventually they dropped the price, they dropped the posturing, and we got a deal done. It's that simple. And sometimes teams go to the end of the earth and they don't drop their price. And then other teams give in and pay the price that they've been quoted. It's all, what's the word, Chiv? Is it brinksmanship? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Yeah, basically, do you remember in the old movies where the cars would drive to the end of the cliff and play chicken? And whoever breaks first is basically the chicken's out and loses. But then the other guy ends up going off the end of the cliff. So in the end, it's like, who's the real winner here? Like, who's the real? So it's brinksmanship, basically taking each other as far as you can go, and somebody eventually has to break. But if you don't, you're going off the end of the cliff. So I think that's kind of transfer.
It is millions of pounds you're talking about, innit? Like, people see it when we're talking about football. It's like, oh yeah, just pay the extra 5, 10 mil or whatever it is. But it's still 10 million quid. Like, it's still, quite a lot of money. We obviously know clubs make this money, and they've got, like, United have got money in abundance. But it's still that this is why there's so much haggling. I mean, you've seen it go down to even like pounds and pennies and shit. Absolutely crazy.
You said with the PSR, like, if there was no PSR or FFP, United would be fine. We could just throw money up the fucking wall. And it doesn't really matter because we're one of the biggest clubs in the world and our income is massive. So we could spend whatever we want, but because of PSR restricts and FFP to make it fair in theory, to make it fair for everybody else. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying in theory, this is the idea. Yeah. Don't shoot the messenger. They put these in place to make it fair for all the other clubs and stuff like that. That's why we're not able to spend as much as we should or could. Because if it was based on pure how much income you got, United would be the biggest. Maybe Real Madrid would be up there, but United are near the top, and we should be able to spend as well. But because of other things, we're not allowed to.
600 million a year we make.
Yeah, I think Juve is going to win this one between us and that because they're really shrewd. Like, they really do business. And I think we want to get rid of him more than they want him. This is the kind of vibe I'm guessing. So I think Juve will still win in that regard. But
typical Juventus, isn't it? Business.
Yeah. If it's just a loan, would you be open to it? Like, with no option, no obligation?
If it was the last option, I'd rather loan him than keep him at the club because I think keeping him at the club would be more detrimental to our ambitions this season. Which is just because he's obviously clearly fell out with the manager. There's clearly some tension there. I just think I'm thinking about the media after every game, constantly asking questions about, rather than that, if we have a good performance, it'll be, when's Jadon Sancho going to be reintegrated? Why is Jadon Sancho not a part of the squad today? Why is this? Why is that? I just can't be bothered with that. So if it does get to the point where it's like, right down to the wire on Friday, and it's like we can only loan him out, and Juventus will pay his wages, then just fuck it, do it. But I expect Ineos to at least get something good out of this. A decent loan fee would be nice, I suppose. But you never know, do you, with these dealings towards the end of the window? It's one of those. It could still go Chelsea at this point. You could have a flip on it said tomorrow, and we could fucking sign Ivan Toney. Who knows? It's the beauty of the transfer window. Right, let's go to the comments then, because there's quite a few. Hope you spank back. What? Spank back where it came from and back to 100% again soon, Richard. Oh, Richard's in the chat. He wasn't in this afternoon.
He's got COVID, so yeah, that's.
Oh no!
Get well soon, Richard.
Oh, my man, Richard. Yeah, I was wondering. Everyone was like, "Where the fuck's Richard?" in the afternoon show, and literally loads of people were saying, "Where's Richard?" Yeah. I hope you get well soon, mate. Yeah, you get yourself back in bed, pal. Ineos playing 4D chess, big boys. That's from Elite. Thank you very much. Dan saying Elite baller, not good, but just getting on with it. Shit times, but thanks for asking. Okay, there's a bit of a mixed answer. We talk like it's pennies. Well, yeah, I kind of just brushed on that as well. Having seen preseason, did Sancho strike you as having a maniacal will to get back into the team? Always felt like Ten Hag and Sancho were in a marriage of convenience. Interesting.
I think
Sancho
suffers from a very similar thing that Martial suffered from, where his demeanor and his body language is very under the level. So what he's portraying is not necessarily how he feels. Because a lot of the time, for Martial, he looked uninterested, but I don't think that was always the case. Chivy's got a very similar thing. Chivy's very, quite level.
I agree with that.
He doesn't show off a lot of emotion, but doesn't mean he's not feeling something. It doesn't mean he's not a part of something. I think that sometimes Jadon Sancho, he's very aloof in that sort of matter, I think.
Like right now, people can't tell, but Chivy's absolutely thoroughly excited. There we go. We got a smile out of it. Right. Should we move on to Victor Lindelof? Because, again, that's another move to Italy. Apparently, this according to Dimarzio, I touched on this afternoon, but there's been a further update on it. Lazio are weighing up a move for Lindelof before the transfer window closes. They will have to battle it out with Fiorentina, Frankfurt, and a few Saudi Pro League clubs for Lindelof's signature. At this point, would you rather just keep him? Because I don't feel like we're going to replace him. So having him as a backup centre-back, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it, Chiver?
No. Why are we selling him?
I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep him. Like, what's the point?
The box.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what's he on? Is he on 100 and something? Just keep him. One more season. It's his last season anyway. Keep him. Yeah, why not? Like, he can come in and do a job. I remember when we lost Varane and Lisandro in Ten Hag's first season, when Shaw and Lindelof held us down, bro. Like, they stepped in.
Yeah.
They stepped in and really, really put in a shift. So, like, people seem to forget that. Like, I'd keep Lindelof. I like him. I'll keep him as a backup. You know, maybe Johnny Evans gets injured or tired. I don't know.
Tired.
As long as he doesn't play, I don't know. As long as he doesn't play left back or right back or whatever.
Wakes up, gets on the bench and just goes, can't be bothered today, lads. Victor.
Imagine that. Victor. Eric, why have you not chose Johnny tonight? He's tired.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah, no, I'll keep him. I mean, there's no pressure. There's no, it's not like we're going to replace him anyway. So
yeah,
keep him, man.
Yeah. As a cup rotation, Sam, keep Lindelof. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know we don't want to see him at full back, but he can play there and he has been used there. So I know you don't want to see it, and I know
Atletico Madrid, mate. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I know. But he has played there and he can play there. So worst comes to worst, he's versatile enough to play there for a short amount of time. Yeah, he's not on that much money. If you sell him, you're gonna get what, 8 million, 5 million, if that. Like, it's not gonna be a lot, is it? Like, it's not gonna be a lot of money. It's not really gonna help PSR too much because his wages are not that bad and the fee doesn't really demand it. And then like you said, you're not replacing him. Like, we're not buying another centre back. So yeah, if you're going to sell a centre back, it would be Maguire, because you get the money for him, you get the wages off the books, and then you can reinvest that and go get another centre back. But Lindelof, it might as well just wait until next season and just address other areas. I'd rather us go and spend some money on a left back or go get another midfielder than sort of try and dick around with that fee.
Yeah, with Lindelof, I think because we saw the injuries that happened last season, when you get down to the bare bones, I'd rather, if we do get down to the bare bones, it is Lindelof in there rather than Johnny Evans. I don't mind Johnny Evans. He's done okay.
Louis Jackson, the 16-year-old.
Oh, Louis Jackson, exactly. Like, or Casemiro in front of centre back again. Like, Jesus. No. Do not be doing that again.
Because remember when we had Cass at centre back, and the only other option was Louis Jackson. Yeah. And that was just like that, So just keep it.
Agreed. What do we think in the chat, people? Let us know. Just whilst we're on the topic of like cups and cup competition, there is the Carabao Cup draw tonight. I know that gets you thrilled out of your seat. That's at 10:15. A couple of tweaks to the Carabao Cup, just to let you know. So this season, the third round of the competition will be spread over 2 game weeks to accommodate the revised European competition formats. United will have 8 Europa League matches instead of the usual. We will play the Carabao Cup third round match in the week starting September the 16th, just before the Premier League game against Crystal Palace. However, this scheduling means that United will not face any English teams that are participating in the Champions League, such as Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Just on a trophy alone, lads, I mean, it's kind of an obvious question, but Sam, I'll go to you first on this one. Are you hungry for a trophy? For something like, would you, take another Carabao, take another FA Cup, or should we strive for more? Should we go for Europa? Where's your head at with that?
I mean, I'm always happy to win a trophy. Silverware at United is always welcome, whether it's the League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, whatever you want to chuck. Like, if we win a trophy, I'm happy and I'm celebrating it, and I'll talk about it and I'll enjoy the things. It's like, it's so many people who like they demean trophies, and it's like Arsenal fans demean trophies. It's like, you've not won anything. You've not won a trophy. You finished second and you're celebrating like you're a fantastic team. You've not won a trophy. Ten Hag's won 2 in 2 years. Like, I would rather have that day at Wembley, the FA Cup final against City every fucking year than finish second and win nothing.
Yeah.
I'd do that every fucking year. I'd love that. It'd be fantastic. So, yeah, whatever trophy we're in, I think we need to go as hard as we can for it and try and win it, no matter what trophy. Like, I hate teams who go, we can't be arsed with this, and they just sack it off. Like, it's just, no. When Fergie used to do it, it used to annoy me. Like, when he just plays shit teams up until about the semi-finals and then start playing people. Like, that used to annoy me. So, yeah, I every trophy we're in, I want us to win it, like, no matter what it is. Like, if we're in the Europa Conference League, I hate the Europa Conference League. But if we're in it, I want United to win it. Like, it's that simple.
The thing is with Ten Hag in these competitions, and I know people might argue this, Jimmy, and they might say, well, he might be stubborn, but he's won a Carabao Cup in his first season, and then he's won an FA Cup in his second season. Does he need to, especially with the extra fixture load, does he need to rotate a little bit more, especially with the players that we brought in?
Well, he needs to. Whether or not he does that is another thing. Because he's definitely going to be under more pressure this season than he's ever been. So, I mean, because it's almost like a trial. Like, it's almost as if Ineos gave him a lifeline, so he has to perform. Now, the danger with that is there's only a few players that he trusts in this team. We might just end up playing, the same team that, that he likes to have, or the same, clearly has his favorites. I think that's the danger with this whole thing. But he has to rotate with all the fixtures, with everything that's coming on, especially to avoid injury, to keep players fresh, stuff like that. Like, we saw how last season, I mean, it took so much for Ahmad to come on. Like, he played Pelistri, he played Forson. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, at this time, I don't think, I wouldn't want to see some, similar situation to last season, where he's just playing his favorites. I need to see everyone playing, especially people like Toby Collier, who's shown us in pre-season that he can actually step up and play. He's not just because like he's a really good player, but his game is really matured. Like, he fits in really, really well. So yeah, why not keep your players fresh? I don't want to be playing Kobe like twice a week, or like Garnacho or Ahmad like twice a week, sort of thing. So yeah, he needs to rotate, and I hope he does. I really, really hope he does.
Well, we can have different combinations now, can't we? Like, the thing is with Rasmus last season was as soon as he went out, there was no one there. So we had to play Rashford there, and then that would take someone from the left wing spot. If we take Casemiro out, do you put Eriksen in the 6? Kobe played there sometimes. Now you put Awate there, and you can play Awate with Casemiro. You can play Awate with Kobe Mainu. Like, he's got enough depth now, and he's got no excuses, at least in my opinion, to not go and succeed, because he has been tremendously backed with players. I said before, I went to record, I think we've had probably the best window out of most teams. I mean, you could talk about West Ham and Brighton and the shrewd business they've done on paper and stuff, but I think United, I don't know if you guys would agree with that. Feel free to kind of chime in, but I think we've had the best window out of the majority of teams.
I think if you look at our window in terms of sales and in terms of buys, I think that's definitely one of the better windows. If you look at Brighton, not sold a big player this year, have they? Like a big player hasn't been sold for like normally it's like McAllister or a Casido, Ben White, etc. Those kind of guys always go some year, and no one's gone this summer. But then they've dropped I think it's 200 million they've spent, I believe. They bought 30 Kalioglu for 30. They bought this guy who went off injured the other day, actually. The young guy from, is it Celtic? I think they bought him for 30 million. He went off injured. There's a couple of other people. So they spent 200 million. So yes, they've gone good, but then the sales haven't been great. I think the only ones that can hold a candle are probably West Ham. I think they've had a really good window. I think the buys they've had have been really shrewd, good prices, and fit into the thing with a good coach. So I think we've had a really good window. Like, it's been one of the most efficient and enjoyable windows I've had for a long time. Normally we sit here and it's just panic for about 18 weeks. And then we sign a couple of people for overpriced bullshit and aren't able to sell anybody. That's normally the case. This window, 2 early signings, another guy done quite easily, a YT in the door, and then a bunch of sales. I think we've done excellent. A really, really good window.
Yeah.
Are they?
I don't know about. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, have they done more than you expected, Chivy, in your eyes? Because you was obviously welcoming in it. You and Sam are both kind of like, yeah, let's just see, think they could do a good job, etc. Have they over exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, they've kind of lived up to expectation because for the first time in God knows how long, we've actually bought smart and like targeted positions that that we actually. Do you remember that season when we just had loads of attackers, like loads of attackers, just. So like we're actually buying, like we've gone and bought a right back. We've got like defensive cover. We've got another ball winning midfielder. We've got a striker now, and we can never do everything in one window. But as a start with Ineos, I think this has been a really brilliant start. It's going to take maybe a couple of more windows, 2-3 more windows, before we can fully be like, okay, this is like our team. Like if you look at Arteta now, I don't think there's a player left. Since when he came in, everyone's gone. Everyone's gone. There's not. Everyone there is his player. So it will take a couple of windows for Ten Hag to get like. I mean, yeah, he's got quite a few already, but so yeah, I haven't really thought about like the rest of the league in terms of transfers because I haven't really paid attention. But as far as us, I think they've done well.
Yeah.
I would have really liked a left back, like really like one.
Same.
I just feel like it's a little bit too risky because if we lose one of Masrari or Dalu, like, we're almost fucked, So yeah, I would have loved left back, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm happy with what we have now.
To be fair, we have spent like, what is it, 200 million now, 190, 200 million. And then obviously sold 100 million. So net spend is 100, but without them being in the Champions League, that's probably realistic, to be fair, somewhere around that figure. They were saying they didn't have the budget, but I just have a feeling that Kadioglu is going to be a really good player for Brighton. I'm going to look at him and go like, oh, should have got him.
Oh yeah, he is.
Brighton don't miss on transfers a lot, do they? Like most of their transfers, they work quite well, and you can see why. Like they do their scouting exceptionally well, and I think Kadioglu is going to fit the mold.
Yeah.
The reason why I really wanted him was because he doesn't just play left back; he can play left back, he can play right back, he can play midfield. Apparently, well, I've never seen him for his club, but like from what I've heard, like he plays a whole.
Did he start as a striker as well? Like
I don't know. I read he was like a number 10, like a.
Is it number 10? Was that it?
Yeah.
He was a forward when he started.
Tricky, good under pressure, can dribble, like good on the ball.
So you need, with our players dropping off like flyers, if someone drops off somewhere, just throw him in there. Like look at Saka, like in the World, was it the World Cup or the Euros that just played? I don't remember.
Euros.
Euros, yeah. And then Saka's playing, and then when we needed him, or when you guys needed him, slot him to left back nicely, no issue. So yeah, it would have been good to have him, but yeah, it is what it is, man. I think maybe they're just waiting for the right player.
Yeah, it could be. I think that's going to be a massive area next window in it. Like spend decent money on it. Go and get a left back without any injury fucking issues. Bring him in, top quality one.
I would drop some serious money on that Gutierrez. I would go.
I like Gutierrez.
I would drop some serious.
Or
money on him.
Robinson as well.
Robinson as well.
Right
I
up
like.
there.
Yeah, there's two.
Top player.
Take your pick. Drop some money on one of those. I think that'll be a really good signing.
Where does Gutierrez play?
Girona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Girona.
Is it the old guy? Is it the old?
No, he's not old.
No. Like 23, 24.
Yeah,
I think.
youngish. Good, check him out, man. He's a good left back. Just right, I'm gonna go to the comments because the last part of the show we're gonna try and collectively agree on what is our best starting 11 if everyone is fit. But before we do that, get your comments in and opinions. Now is your time because I'm gonna go through some and leave a like on the video for us if you can. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. So, Craig the Unicorn, sell him when Euro gets back. Lindelof won't play at all. No, judging off last season, it still will. Trust me. With the injuries or anything to go by. So Lindelof played well once, so keep him. He's not played well once. Come on, the Vornator.
He played like... How many games did he play with Luke Shaw? Like 8 or 9? Like something like that?
He's had more good performances than that. I think he's actually shit on a bit more than he should be, Lindelof.
Yeah.
To be fair. Him and Maguire as a pairing, no, don't like that.
No.
But him separate alongside, if it was a Lissandro or if it's Shaw.
Him next to Varane, him next to... Yeah. The thing with fans now is that we have a lot of... Fans have like amnesia now. Like it's football, it's fast football now. We just get everything now. Seem to forget a lot of stuff that we've done in the back. Lindelof can be decent when he's paired with like a decent partner next to him.
Some fans nowadays, if they were back in the day watching like Ji-Sung Park or Darren Fletcher, they'd be calling for their Reds every fucking week.
Yeah, they'd be saying, look at his stats, he's not scored.
Fucking shit. It's just like, have you watched this guy, man? Like, come on.
Yeah. Right, ask Newcastle fans about winning trophies. We'll ask their great granddads. There you go. Shots fired to Newcastle. Lindelof's best quality is his girlfriend. Fair enough. Yeah, I'd probably.
Is she fit? I've not seen her.
She's tasty. One might say. Where the comments gone? Fabrizio tweeting now about Chelsea's manager speaking about Sancho. Interesting. I haven't seen that.
Let me have a look. I'll look it up.
Yeah, have a deep dive. Ten Hag like sour cream player buy expensive. Okay, that makes no sense. Random guy, other than you, Nick, taking up most of my energy. I'm doing fine. Wish you was the best. Haven't forgot both of you in my prayers. Okay, I think that's an ongoing conversation. I hope everyone's well. You can only win 4 trophies in Europe at the start of every season. Spurs, Villa, Newcastle fans would be over the moon with 1 cup in the past 10 years. United have won 2 in 2 seasons.
Did you see when Arsenal played Villa at the weekend? Villa put their European trophy in the middle of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I
saw that.
Fucking great shit house with that. I love that.
Love it. And Villa are a proper shit out. Look at the keeper.
Martinez,
and you look at like the midfield as well, and that Morgan Rogers and stuff. Proper shit houses. Love it. Yes, lads. Would any of you try and get Nkunku instead of Sterling? I think it's a good possibility we could get him.
Take it away, Nick. Your favorite.
Oh yeah, no, I love Nkunku. I think he's a top player. I also think because he plays central and they have Cole Palmer, he ain't going to get as many minutes as he would like, and he ain't great on the left. I watched him on the left in the last game, and it didn't look necessarily comfortable there. But we have Bruno Fernandes, and we have Mason Mount. So, yeah. I mean, he can play as a 9, but, yeah.
Enzo Maresco and Sancho Chelsea move. He said, if we can sign a player that can help us, for sure I would do it. Jadon is not our player. I know him very well, but he's not our player. That's what he said. And he's also said there's no way back for Sterling. He's a fantastic guy, but the only thing is every manager has a different idea. He's not the type of winger I like. That says nothing about the history, and the numbers speak for Raheem. So,
he is as straightforward as if you. There's no question marks with him.
He's got no filter at all, has he?
He's not the winger I like. No. Like, okay, fair enough. At least saying it how it is, that's you can't. There's no room for anything there to say like, oh well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe like it's just does not like him. Sell him and move him on. Refreshing, to be honest. Random guy with a super chat. Hannibal Mabry to Burnley for 5 mil. I think there's 4.5 in add-ons. Good deal, that, isn't it, lads?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Good evening, all. Just want to pop in and say hi. Wish everyone well. We're going to give those Scouse bastards a proper game on Sunday. Chelsea, Chiesa, might be the most injured player on the planet. 90 missed games in the last 3 years. Anyone remember the Fletcher step overs?
I do. I remember those.
I mean, was
He's
it
like-
Phil Neville who said, I mastered the step over?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
In an interview. What do you mean you've mastered the step over? You lift your leg over a fucking ball, you idiot. Mastered the step over. Give over.
Funny.
Oh my god. Okay. Right. Let's try get through this 11 then, lads. If every single player is fit, who starts in what position from now? From what you've seen on form, who starts where? So obviously Onana in net. Let's
Yeah.
just
Well, we can't
smooth
pick
past that
we
one.
can't pick Bayindir because we've only seen a single game.
Newport.
Like, do you know what I mean? So
Clean
I
sheet
can't.
against- oh no, it wasn't a clean sheet, was
No,
it?
it's
Against
not me.
Newport.
Conceded
Oh,
two,
there you
so
go.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
pick him. Unfortunately, I'm
Bless
sure he's
him. He's
great.
got the best job in the world, though, innit? Like £100,000 a
Tommy,
week.
Tom Eaton
Just sat
has.
chilling.
Tom Eaton,
Yeah.
he's never gonna play. He got to go to the Euros and train the keepers and get paid for it.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great job.
Great job.
Man, he's living the life.
Yeah.
That is the dream, innit? It is because he chills with all the players. You know, have a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
needs to be pre-season, Tom, make sure you're ready for
Needs
pre-season.
to chuck the
And
ball
that's
out.
you-
If he has to chuck the ball out a couple of times, like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on
So
the weekend, he can go out on the weekend and no one's gonna bother him.
No.
yeah. Not gonna.
Yeah.
Are you rough, Tom?
Yeah.
We're gonna need you Sunday. It's none of that, is there? It's like, have a good night last night, did you, Tom? It's like, yeah. So no Tom Heaton or Bayindir. That's fine.
Yeah.
At right back,
Gallo.
over Mazraoui.
I need to see more. If Mazraoui puts in performances like he did for the whole season, there'll be a question. But for me, it's Dallo.
He certainly wants to push Dallo, innit?
That's what you
I
want.
think.
That's what you want.
Mm.
Ivy, thoughts, feelings?
Yeah.
Do the show, Jimmy. Jimmy, this is a live show, interaction, talk, discussion. You know.
I'll wait for Nick. Nah, I'm gonna have to go with Miles.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go with
Mazraoui.
Miles.
Yeah, he's not good, isn't it?
From what I've seen, I like Dallo. I really do like Dallo. I'm gonna have to go with Mazraoui.
Yeah, Mazraoui looks decent. Feel really bad for saying Mazraoui because he's had 2 games. So throwing Dallo under a bus like that is like
Wait
ugh.
for the.
We're talking about this season.
Yeah, like on form if everyone's fit and available.
Wait for the injury. Wait for the injury, and then you'll.
Yeah,
That'll,
inevitable in it at some point. I have a feeling we're going to be switching around a lot and then positions in left back, right
it's just
back.
I don't want another season of just the defensive changes every fucking like
You
minute.
want consistency,
Half
don't
to
you?
half, it was fucking changing for fuck's sake,
Yeah.
man. Like, come on, sort it out.
Yeah. Centre backs. This one I'm interested to see who you go with.
Ooh, that's the tough one, man.
I would go De Ligt and Leacher, but I would not be opposed to Yoro and Leacher.
I'd say Leacher and Yoro. I think Yoro's got a higher ceiling. I know that sounds crazy. to
No, I
say.
agree. But I think he might want to give him a more of a runway into the team rather than chucking him in at the deep end. Not to say that he couldn't handle it and he wouldn't do well, but I think they want to give him time.
Difficult one, isn't it?
It's tough, man. Yeah, I'll go Licha Euro. I don't know.
I do because I think right. So I'm looking at the way we're playing stylistically and the balance. I know De Ligt is not the slowest, but I know he's not necessarily the quickest. Yoro can defend space like anyone. He's absolutely rapid, and he's got those long limbs as well. Where if you need to get
big.
Yeah.
They're both
recovery
big
pace.
lads, though. Like, they're both big lads.
Yeah, the big lads.
Yeah.
But I look like 6 years younger than De Ligt. He looks so talented. I think that's one's interesting when he comes back in November, how much game time he's going to get. I mean, like you said, Sam, you might just give him a runway and he might not be a first teamer. So I imagine it will be De Ligt and Leacher to start with, but I can definitely see him pushing into that team.
Absolutely. I hope he fights and takes De Ligt's spot, and I hope they fight each other to try and whoever partners Leacher. I'd love to see that. That'd be great.
Yeah. But we still need to see more De Ligt as well, don't we? Because we've seen 10, 15 minutes, literally.
Yeah.
I want to see him in a full 90 minutes. I mean, if he starts against Liverpool, there's no bigger test than that.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest magnifying glass you can have as a football player.
Yeah.
So, same with Duarte. If someone described it as a baptism of fire.
It is.
Was it you, Sam, who said
might
that?
have been,
Like,
yeah.
throwing him in that kind of game, it's like
Well, if you
crazy, isn't it?
if you swim against Liverpool at Old Trafford, then I think you'd be all right for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think there's going to be much else that'd phase you. That so.
Yeah, sometimes it brings out the best in players. I believe Marcus Rashford's Premier League debut was against Arsenal. Anthony's Premier League was against Arsenal. Martial's first goal, his debut, was against Liverpool.
Yeah. Kobe was like, what was it? Everton at Goodison Park, and then it was Galatasaray away, and then it was Liverpool in the first few
Who was
weeks.
that?
Kobe, Manu.
Yeah, Kobe, exactly. So sometimes it brings out the best in players.
Yeah. So we'll go Euro. I think me and Jimmy said Euro and Leacher, right? So we'll go with that. Shaw at left back.
Can't pick him. I can't pick him anymore. I can't, man. I'm fucking done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm over.
What are you gonna pick?
Put Matt
Malacia?
Put Matt Rowley there. I don't care.
Wow.
I'm done with Shaw, mate. I'm done with Shaw. I'm honestly over.
Fit and form when he is fit, he is the best.
When is he fit? Let me know when he's fit. When is he fit?
When everyone's fit.
He's never going to be fit.
Turn the course of the cooker down a little bit. Fucking hell. Where's he fit?
He's never going to be fit. He's just never going to be fit. It's fucking ridiculous.
Probably not.
It's hypothetical.
Fuck me.
Right, so I think we know who Sam's going with.
I'm out for it, so it's fine.
Are you going Shaw, Civir, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Midfield. What do we think?
Hard
saying it. It is Manu and Cass, but let me ask a different question then. We'll stay with Manu and Casemiro. Will Ugarte push into that team? And who will start alongside him?
Possibly, like if he plays the way we've seen in the comps and all, and he is if he is who he is, then obviously he gets in. But at the moment, we haven't seen him, so I'll go Manu and Cass because we just haven't seen him.
Would you echo that, Sam?
From what I've seen of Ugarte, and then if you compare Casemiro last season, it's Ugarte all day, isn't it? However, Casemiro's looked all right first couple of games. He's not looked amazing, but he's looked a lot better than he did last season. Maybe that's the addressing of the system and the changing of system, even though, you know what, I've seen fans online going, oh, he's not Ten Hag's the same shit. He's not changed anything. It's like, did you watch the game? Like, have you seen the games?
Change. It's not completely, but
but this change has been made, and people are like, it's the same. It's like, it's not though, is it? It's just fucking not. But yeah, I'm outvoted again, but I'd put Ugarte in there. I'd put Ugarte in Kobe, Bruno. That'd be my
No, I voted. I think I've seen enough of Casemiro, to be honest. I'd put Ugarte in there as well. I'd have Ugarte and Manu, to be fair. But it's like, again, it's hard to say because you have to see how he transitions into the team and how long it takes him to get up to speed. But yeah, I'd go Ugarte. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes starts. There's just no if, buts, or coconuts about that. The right-hand side. Ahmad?
Yeah, Ahmad.
Yeah. Striker.
Zexi.
Over Højlund?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd go Højlund. If you're going to play, my Garnacho's my left winger. I'd go Højlund.
Oh. I like both because they both give different qualities. But I think Rasmus, I don't know, he looked fresh in pre-season as well before he got that injury, man. I wanted to see more of him. I'd go Rasmus, I think. But I do like Xerxes.
How are we going to keep the ball, man? The ball just bounces off Bruno, bounces off him, bounces off...
That's our style anyway, isn't it? It's 100 mile an hour, fucking.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, you know, it's all personal choices. But yeah,
that's your opinion.
yeah. Well, with Xerxes, like, we'll keep the ball. He's versatile. Like, you know, he can do it all. You know, he has more to his game than Rasmus. If we're playing that low block, Rasmus he doesn't offer as much as what we'll get from Xerxes. When we're playing on the counter, Xerxes can control the ball better than Marcus Højlund.
Marcus Højlund.
He controls, he controls the ball better than Højlund. He can lay it off. He's versatile. I'd rather have him and then bring Højlund on as an impact sub. Like if we're defending the lead, sitting back, and then in the 75th minute we bring on Højlund, like bro, like any defender there will just be like, oh fuck's sake, like yeah, because we got pace. Imagine bringing on Hoyland and Garnacho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It depends who
when
you're
you're
playing, innit? It depends who you're playing. Like you
yeah,
say,
I'm just saying,
if you've
yeah,
got space to run into, Hoyland's a channel runner, you would more likely play him. I quite like the idea of Rasmus Rashford, to be honest, on the left-hand side. I think that'd be, that'd be a great player. But you're having Garnacho on the left, yeah, Sam?
Yeah, I go with that. Again, much like Shaw with Rashford, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I don't think he's going to be the player regularly and consistently that he was when he was doing 30 goals. I don't think he's going to be that guy. I think he'll have these seasons and then he'll have a couple of seasons off and it'll just be recycled. Same. I just don't think he's the guy. And I think Garnacho, he is frustrating and he does have flaws that he needs to work on, but he's 19, soon to be 20. He's got time and he's got ability and he can improve and I hope he improves. Rashford's 27. This is the play you've got. He's not changing. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done with the experiment, man.
Yeah, I mean, I did. So the show's ready to go for members. We'll drop that probably around 8 o'clock. Sterling versus Rashford, just to give you a comparison for people who are kind of in between whether we should sign him or not. Doesn't like it might not happen now, but it's still a possibility. And when I was going through those stats, if you actually look at Garnacho, he's like better than all of our wingers. Like, well, better than Antony, better than Rashford. It wasn't an Ahmad comparison, but he's 19. I think you have to give him that spot. You're just going to stunt his growth, man. I think he's ready to just start games consistently. But equally, he is good as an impact sub as well. But I think you could use Marcus like that in the last 20 minutes as an impact.
I don't even think Marcus Rashford is like an impact sub. I think irrespective of like the stats or anything, just based on what we've, like you said before, we're making the 11. Just based on what we've seen in current form, it's Garnacho. Like yeah, he impacts the game way more than Marcus Rashford does. It doesn't matter whether it's the first minute or the last minute. Like, he's got bags of energy. He makes the things. I mean, he has a lot of haters. Like, people don't like him and all that kind of stuff. And he's not as techy as some people would like. But I believe there's some kind of balance that you should have. And Garnacho is one of those people. He's just inevitable. Like, it would always happen. He would always bring a goal, or he's just relentless, and he'll keep going. And yeah, I think I'd rather start him. Well, I'd rather if we're lifting our team, I'd rather have him over Max Rashford. However, if it's a situation where there's a possibility of bringing him in as a impact sub, then yeah. Then
I think you saw as well that I know we've only got small sample size because we've only played 2 games, but he came on against Brighton and he creates an opportunity for Xerxes, which was unfairly, in my opinion, ruled out because it hits his knee. I know it's the letter of the law and all that sort of stuff, but he creates a goal.
It's going in anyway, isn't it?
That goal. That's what I'm saying.
The annoying thing.
He creates something, whereas Rashford was on the pitch for 60, 70 minutes, created barely anything. So.
Yeah. Right, last few comments and we shall head off. Please do smash a like on the video for us and subscribe. We're 32 off 6,700, so if you are new to the channel, please do support by clicking that button in the bottom right corner. Rasmus is a true number 9. That's from Craig the Unicorn. Elite Baller saying I like breast. Okay, that's do you? That's just a very random comment. I'm worried Ten Hag will play Casemiro and Ugarte together and drop Mainu. Can even see Mount starting. It's a good problem to have and ones we've not had for years.
I don't think it's dropping Mainu. He's resting him. Like, he's played too many games. He played 40 odd games last season. It's too much for a 19-year-old, 18-year-old. He needs to rest at times. So if you can rest him and bring Casemiro in next to Duarte, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, if he wants to do the whole false 9 thing with Bruno, play Casemiro and Duarte, play Mainu in the up front, and then not up front, but play Mainu further forward, and then Bruno Fernandes do the false 9 thing. Yeah, it works easily. I mean, it's like Sam said, it's a good problem to have. Really.
Well, I think with Mainu's development, because he's only young, he's 19. You've seen players as they go through the Craig Paul scholars, for example, who started really advanced and then went right back to, end up being a conductor, basically. So, Mainu, you don't know what his future is, do you? He could push up further. He could play, as a 10 really, really well. He could sit deep and start to dictate and do a Tony Cruz or something like that. So, it's interesting to see how he develops because he's got a full season this year. So, I'm excited.
He's a complete midfielder.
Yeah, he's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah,
so happy we've got him.
Yeah, and he's not like a baby. He doesn't, he plays with a very, very matured head on his shoulders. So like he can play forward. Like during the Euros, like he played a bit further forward than he normally would. So yeah, I'd like to see that. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. To be fair.
Yeah. Right. This chat's getting a bit out of hand. I was reading the conversations that are going.
It's got very spiritual and philosophical in the chat for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Kerwin Nixon, though, actually with some football news. Former youth player Teddy Menge at Luton Town, now Racing Club de Lons, are on the verge of signing him on a loan with obligation to buy, and United will see 4 or 5 million and a 40% sell-on clause, apparently.
I thought Torino would in for him. I'm sure I saw that from Romano saying Torino would in for him. Maybe there's two. Maybe there's a little bit of a thing. I like Mengi, man. I miss him. I thought he was going to make it at United. I thought he was going to be our centre back future, but yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. Can we have some violins in the chat for Tonali tonight as well? He's starting his first game, and my God, the coverage that Sky Sports News have been doing on him. It's like he's fucking lost his full family or something. The way they're just like playing it. The guy's betting, man. What do you mean? Like they're saying that it's been a tough time, and it shouldn't have put that fucking hacker on, mate. If you know what I mean. Like
the rules are simple, lad. The rules are simple.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to bet. Just don't do it. Like it's not. It's not difficult.
Been really hard. I'm sure you thought that when you're putting 10 grand on fucking a yellow card for Joe Linton or something. Like, get to fuck. No sympathy from me, mate. I hope he's fucking failed at the club. How about that? Yeah. Anything you guys want to get off your chest before we go? Anything you want to say?
Speaking of yellow cards and red cards in Joe Linton, why was that not a yellow or a red at the weekend?
Yeah, the clothesline, the JBL from hell.
Casemiro gets like sent off for this, and that guy's clotheslining people in the box. Nothing's happening.
No.
Fucking VAR.
Civir, any wise words of wisdom you want to give to the chat? Any advice?
No. Has anyone seen the our fantasy league table?
Oh, there we go.
Are you top? Are you top?
I mean, have a look. Let's check it out.
Oh, okay. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think we need to, because I think you already know the answer to that one.
Let's have a look.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, I hope I am.
If you're a Real Reds Ultra, you'll obviously be a part of it. If not, go check on the members page. There's a code there and you can join it. So, top 5. We have Chivy at the top with 165 points. My Damn United in second with 154. Run the Cools, which is a mate of mine, in 143. Dan Raj in fourth with 135.
Dan loves FPL, you know. He fucking loves it. Yeah.
And then Mark Palmer, I don't know if he's a member. Yeah. He is in fifth with 131.
Can I put a disclaimer out there before you continue down the league? I haven't touched my team once.
Do you want to know where you are, Nick?
Probably last, because I'm not touching the team. Yeah. I've not been on. You know why? Because I'm in the Sun one. So the Sun do like I didn't choose it.
Don't buy the Sun.
But it gets like extremely competitive. Like they put money in. It's like proper like shit housery. And I've just been focused on that, trying to get up the table. Everyone double captain Haaland against Ipswich last weekend, and I didn't man in my team. So they've all gained like 50, 60 points from me. And they're all like, you're the fucking Luton of the group and blah, 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 all that shit. And I'm like, oh, no. So,
I was tempted to triple captain him this last weekend, but I left it.
It's funny. We've got 2 Control-Alt-Delete teams in the league. So 2 people with the same team name, which is funny.
What team names did I use?
Is one of them Brian?
No.
Okay.
Nick is Kinder and Bueno.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Chivy,
classic. I was gonna go with Neville Wears Prada, but
Chivy is FC Hangover, and then I am Crimea River Plate. So,
FC Hangover. Yeah. You're more creative than that, Chivy.
You're a copywriter, Chivy, for fuck's sake.
FC Hangover.
What?
What's that?
Hangover.
Hangover the film, or Hangover like alcoholic hangover, or
no, just alcoholic hangover. That's been the name of my team for the past 4 years.
Come on, Magnolia, man. You need some spice it up.
Doesn't matter.
But you're on top, doesn't it? So I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. Right. Last question, and then we go. Thought on the signing of Kamada by Crystal Palace. Haven't watched much of him.
Who rates him? Is it Is it Shreyas?
Aaron.
You rate Aaron.
Shreyas, I think Shreyas.
I hear Shreyas and Aaron. I
Shreyas,
think both like him.
They rate him. They rate him very high.
Yeah.
I've not seen him play, so I don't.
Me
I don't
neither.
Is he one of those world-class YouTube players?
know.
Probably. Yeah. But yeah. Right. I'd rather have the other one. Adam
Important
Morton.
question, Nick, from Elite Baller: chili con carne or spaghetti bolognese?
I don't like bolognese. And I'll tell you why I don't like bolognese.
Get out now.
I'll tell you why I don't. I don't. But he's giving me like the twos up then. I like bolognese.
Yeah.
But the watery pasta, like the watery pasta with it, I don't like at all.
Okay.
That's not bolognese. When you have a proper bolognese,
Italian bolognese, like when you go to Italy and get the
yeah,
proper
there's no
shit.
water. Yeah.
All right, well, there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock with all the latest news. Nearly the end of the transfer window. United play Liverpool on Sunday, which means we've got James on the channel tomorrow from the Muppeteers. That should be a very good show. But then I'm thinking about the Liverpool preview, so we might have to do that at 12 o'clock potentially, or do a pre-record, but we'll figure it out.
We could do it on Friday. Do Friday night preview.
Yeah, maybe. And then we've got the press conference quotes to cover as well, because obviously tonight going to be asked about Duarte and stuff. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Loads of content coming your way. Going to be a watch along for the Liverpool game as well, so make sure you come and join me. Appreciate every single one of you. This has been Real Red Talk. My name's Nick, this is Chivy and Sam, and we'll see you in a bit.
Peace.
Goodbye.